been following the videos that have been sent on this channel, you should be aware that we earlier discussed the writ of summon as a mode for commencing a civil action in Nigerian court. And we should already note in our last video that there are 4 modes of commencing a civil action. It can either be a writ of summon, an originating summon, an originating motion, and the petition. While we discuss the writ of summon, the purpose of this tutorial session is to examine the originating summon and to take out the different scenarios where this particular writ is to be used to initiate such action. While explaining the writ of summons during our last tutorial session, we were able to find out that a writ of summon is used in a specific kind of proceeding. An originating summon is also used in a specific kind of proceeding. An originating summon is only used to initiate a kind of action which is non-contentious in nature. What do we mean by a non-contentious matter? A non-contentious matter is a particular kind of civil proceeding where there is no dispute in fact. Rather, the party making this application is seeking for the interpretation of a particular law, statutory provision, or any other legal document, and it is the determination of the interpretation of this particular legal document or law that determines the rights and liabilities of the party to this particular civil dispute. We followed our last tutorial session on the writ of summons as a mode of commencing a civil action. You should understand now that a writ of summon is only used in specific proceedings. An originating summon, which is our concept for consideration, is also used in specific proceedings. And as we saw in the writ of summons is only used in situations where the party, who is known as the claimant, is making an application or is claiming a specific relief or remedy to a particular wrong, or is making an application for the award of damages for the breach of a specific contractual, statutory, or legal duty. But an originating summon, on the other hand, cannot be used in situations where writ of summon is being used, because an originating summon, as provided for by the law, is only used in non-contentious matters. What do we mean by non-contentious matters? We explained before, the non-contentious matter is the specific kind of proceeding where there are no disputes in facts. Parties are not disputing the facts of that particular legal dispute. Rather, the person making this application is just seeking for the interpretation of a specific statutory provision, law, or any other legal document, and it is the interpretation of this particular document or law by the court that will determine the rights and liabilities of this party. In a situation where a deceased drafted a will before he met his or her death, and the persons on whose behalf this will is being drafted are disputing the provisions of this particular will, you should already know that in this situation there is no dispute in fact, because parties are already aware that a will was actually drafted. The only thing that is in dispute is in the provisions of this particular will. So the plaintiff or claimant who is making this application would go by an originating summons, because he is not disputing the fact, rather is he claiming for a relief for a particular wrong, but is just seeking for the interpretation of the court in respect to the provisions of that particular will, and it's the interpretation of the court in respect to the provisions of that particular will that will now determine the rights and liabilities of parties. After drafting this particular legal document, it would always be served on the respondent or the defendant by the court bailiff. Although so many other processes are to be followed by the plaintiff who is making this application or who is drafting this document. But these are just the necessary things you need to understand in respect to the nature of proceedings where these documents are to be filed and used to initiate. So, for the purpose of this tutorial and the last tutorial session, we've properly explained the writ of summons and the originating summon as a mode and process used to initiate civil actions in Nigerian courts. Do follow us and subscribe to this channel to be updated when more insightful nuggets and more explanations are made on the remaining 2 processes and procedures for commencing civil actions. Thank Thank you so much.